While everyone was distracted by the latest false flag on US soil, President Emmanuel Macron was accused of illegal acts with minors. And the leaked footage is so explosive, so damning, that it has the potential to end the Macron regime overnight. But rather than reporting on the credible allegations against President Macron, the media have done everything they can to cover up the scandal, protect the abusers, and ensure the global child sex trafficking network, which is worth hundreds of billions of dollars per year, remains an open secret. But we don't bury the truth. We never have, no matter how dangerous it is. And now, we have evidence that will shake global politics to its very core. If there's any justice, it will drive the French president out of office under the fury of an enraged public. Today's video is brought to you by VP.net, the only VPN I trust to protect my privacy from the deep state. VP.net is built to block deep state actors from spying on you. Their military-grade hardware is impenetrable. Using their service also helps to keep my show on the air. Please visit vp.net/TPV to find out more. Before we get to the shocking accusations, a little context. Emmanuel Macron, who was groomed as a 14-year-old boy by his school teacher, has a long history of defending paedophiles and paedophilia. I'm warning you right now. What you're about to see is pure evil. Horrific paintings of children being raped, tortured, and humiliated. These aren't hidden in some basement gallery. They're proudly displayed at the Palais de Tokyo, Paris's prestigious state-funded contemporary art museum. One piece is so vile that 6 major child protection groups, led by Lawyers for Childhood, went to court demanding its removal. French law explicitly bans pornographic depictions of minors. The courts sided with the painting. Then an elderly man threw paint on it in protest. Emmanuel Macron's response? He jumped on X and declared that the man was attacking our values. Here's the painting Macron was defending. We decided to pixelate the image because it's so graphic. But to be clear, it depicts a naked child, hands tied, being statutorily raped by an adult man. This is the image the President of France rushed to defend as a national value. They only scream free speech when it's child rape on canvas, the child grooming movie Cuties on Netflix, or porn in libraries. Anything else gets censored in a heartbeat. The artist's official excuse? It depicts Russian war crimes in Ukraine. Nonsense, pure cover story. Miriam Khan's entire body of work is an obsessive parade of bound children, sexual torture, and ritual humiliation. Everywhere you look in Khan's work, it's the same nightmare. Grown men looming over tiny screaming children, forcing them into submission. Hands bound, mouths gagged, eyes empty with terror. In this one, the adult on the left is naked holding his genitals while he marches with a young child. On the right, another faceless figure cradles a limp, lifeless baby like a discarded doll. In this one, a naked man drags by force a child holding a teddy bear. Khan and the elite in general are obsessed with the loss of children's innocence theme. Here is yet another naked adult holding a child who appears scared. This painting gets straight to the point and depicts the sexual abuse of a much smaller person, presumably a child. The face tells the story. Blank, black eyes, mouths twisted into something not quite human, possessed, empty. The same dead stare you see in ritual abuse survivors when the mind splits to survive the unthinkable. This painting also appears to depict child rape. If a regular person drew this, they'd immediately be ordered to see a psychiatrist or sent to prison. But Macron thinks that this horror is our values. Khan's art is painted in the exact same raw, childish style as Kim Noble's documented monarch mind-control trauma art. This isn't random depravity. This is the occult elite's confession on canvas. And they hung it in the most respected museum in France, so they could say, look what we do, look what we celebrate, and look who defends it.
Washington, D.C. power broker Tony Podesta, brother of John Podesta, former White House chief of staff. His home is filled with disturbing paintings of children being stripped down and tortured. He has a golden statue known as the Arch of Agony, modeled after the posed corpses of serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer's victims. If you don't see the artistic beauty in that, you are obviously an uncultured plebeian. When a cannibal painting was found hanging in John Podesta's Clinton campaign office, his only comment? It's better to be the guy with the fork than the guy on the table.
Now lock in and turn up the volume. Coming up, we play the clip that the Macrons have killed people to keep buried. Once it hits your ears, there's no one hearing it. And no saving Macron. When Macron said that the sickening painting was part of our culture, he wasn't talking about you or me. He was talking about their culture, the elite's culture. The one that runs on trafficked kids and trauma-based control. The same culture that he was groomed in as a young boy before he graduated to the Rothschild Finishing School and married to Bridget, the twisted schoolteacher with a past the Macrons are silencing people to keep hidden.
Another element of the Rothschilds, they are known for their involvement in a religion called Luciferianism or Satanism. Baroness Philippine de Rothschild often wore jewelry that depicts the symbol of Satanism, a horned goat. She even had jewels that simply showed the head of Satan. On this picture we can see Baron Jacob Rothschild posing in front of a famous painting called Satan Calls His Armies Forth from Hell. He poses alongside one of their favorite artists, Marina Abramovich. This lady organizes very strange parties for the elites. Here you see some images of these parties that are called spirit cooking. They basically celebrate the practice of human sacrifice and cannibalism.
The satanic elite are rubbing our faces in it now. Last weekend, Macron organised a taxpayer-funded parade called the Gate of Darkness that featured 15-foot demonic hybrid creatures, a horned Lilith idol on a floating altar, and a Minotaur bow tribute, complete with child sacrificing staging, upside-down crosses, pentagrams, and blatant 666 symbolism. All in front of over 1 million people, including children. With Bridget Macron dressed in occult regalia, watching the satanic spectacle from the stands.
Lately, it seems like the world is getting stranger and weirder. Recently, a parade in Toulouse, France, brought with it something that many would never expect to see so openly. A spectacle full of esoteric symbolism and demonic figures, something that looked more like a portal opening into darkness. This event, supported even by local authorities, was a real shock for all those who still value sacred symbols and respect for spirituality. Europe, once the birthplace of Christianity, now seems to be embracing something very different, something dark. Let's understand together what is really happening. Desecration of Christian symbols. It seems that we are living in times when the very essence of Christian values is being called into question in a way that is almost unbelievable.
What you've seen so far is just the gallery they're willing to hang in public. What comes next is the stuff they thought was buried forever. The sealed 1997 police report from a Normandy chateau that describes in clinical detail an elite Rothschild occult ceremony involving children, hooded figures, and the unmistakable figure of an ambitious young Emmanuel Macron. Today's sponsor is pillsforever.com. If you think Big Pharma have your best interests at heart, think again. The price of medicine in America has skyrocketed, and there are certain medicines Big Pharma don't want you to know about. That's why I've partnered with pillsforever.com. All of their FDA-approved medicines are the cheapest you'll find anywhere. More importantly, you can order medicines that Big Pharma don't want you to have, such as ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and fenbendazole. Speaking of fenbendazole, not only does it get rid of parasites that live inside your body, there have been studies that show fenbendazole can help with cancer. Listen to this bombshell interview with Mel Gibson, who says 3 of his friends who had terminal cancer were cured by the very same ivermectin and fenbendazole available at pillsforever.com.
I have 3 friends. All 3 of them had stage 4 cancer. All 3 of them don't have cancer right now at all. And they had some serious stuff going on.
And what did they take?
Jesus. They took some, what you've heard they've taken.
Ivermectin?
Fenbendazole.
Fenbendazole, yeah. I'm hearing that a lot.
They drank hydrochloride something or other.
Get 15% off using coupon code People's Voice at the checkout. Please click the link below this video to take advantage of this fantastic offer. Some crimes are so heinous that the people who commit them will burn the world down to keep them buried. They'll crash cars, fake suicides, poison witnesses, nuke entire servers, anything. Because once one piece surfaces, the whole pyramid collapses.
that pedophiles are in power.
Yes.
They are literally in power. And that is intentional because then they can be controlled while they are in power. And they are also exhibiting signs of a psychopathology that lets them know that they will do harm to the masses and feel nothing because they were themselves, many of them, raped when they were children.
Yep.
It is not a coincidence that Justin Trudeau is gay. Obama, gay. Zelensky, gay. Emmanuel Macron, gay and married to a trans man who molested him when he was a child. And that despite the overwhelming evidence, for me, the litmus test now is like Brigitte Macron. I'm like, if you want to figure out who is a fraud in media, there's no way to read that 6-part series and go through it and come out of it being like, no, totally legit. Like these are just rumors. It's like one picture of yourself in your first 30 years of living, please. And they
show me her brother.
Where's your brother?
Now, according to a French intelligence agent who held the original Macron file in his own hands, one of those pieces with the power to collapse the whole pyramid is about to surface right now.
I was junior DST counter-terror back then, 1997. We got a call, disturbance at a Rothschild property outside Deauville, private road, armed security, we weren't supposed to be there. Orders came down fast to stand down, but one sergeant copied the incident log before it vanished. Page 3, guest registry, handwritten, clear as day. Emmanuel Macron, age 19, not a misprint, same signature you see on every decree today. Inside we found robes, black candle, inverted crosses, the usual rich man Satanist theater, and kids, 8, maybe 10 years old, sedated, some bleeding. They made the younger guests complete the circle. That's the phrase they used, initiation rite. You do what the elders do, or you never leave the room with your future intact. Macron was already marked. Groomed since lycée, they said, teacher, theater, the whole script. That night he crossed the lines they needed him to cross. After that, doors just opened. He was a Rothschild banker 2 years later, then the presidency opened up to him out of nowhere. You understand, he didn't even have a political party. It was unprecedented. They don't give you the presidency for being clever, they give it to you because you did what they can never let the world see. The file still exists. 3 copies. One is in a safe I will never name. When they come for me, and they will, someone will open it. That's all I have left to say.
The global elite are psychopaths engaged in crimes so heinous, they'll kill in cold blood to keep their secrets under wraps. If you're digging into dangerous topics, doing real research, asking questions they don't want asked, you need to protect yourself. You need to stay invisible. The threat is real. Your identity, your passwords, your fingerprints, your bank accounts. Everything that defines you can be turned into a weapon.
With the click of a button, you can bring down nations to their knees very rapidly, if you so desire, and if you're willing to take the risks. Because every system can be hacked. Our airplanes, our hospitals, our cars, our banks. Actually, the most important word here is our data banks.
They use data as leverage. They collect, profile, compromise, and destroy. That's their playbook. Control through espionage. They're even boasting about it right now.
Not only booby-trapped
and spying.
manipulated equipment.
All right. In which countries are you talking about?
All the countries that you can imagine.
But this time the tables are turning. We know their methods, and we know how to fight back. Head to vp.net/TPV to see how you can disappear from their systems before they throw you in prison for 5 years for criticising the wrong people or just being too damn honest online.
Again, I would remind you that there's no First Amendment right to conduct. There's a First Amendment right to speech, and the things that we're targeting in the bill are not speech. The way we're going to approach this is through a hate crime kicker. So if you graffiti a building, it is a crime now. But if your motivation is hate, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in prison. If you want to litter, it's a crime right now. But if you litter and if your motivation is a hate crime, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in jail. It is a crime right now to hang banners from an interstate. For obvious reasons, we don't want to distract drivers. But if you do that and you have a hate crime, a hate motivation, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in jail.
How optimistic are you of moving this bill along?
I guarantee the bill will pass.
If you're not protecting yourself online, you need to take action right now. If you're using a traditional VPN, cancel your subscription right now. Here's what they don't want you to know. The VPN industry has been infiltrated and compromised. Industry leader Proton is funded and controlled by the World Economic Forum in Davos. The same people writing the digital ID laws and building a digital prison for humanity. And many of the most popular VPNs in the world, ExpressVPN, CyberGhost and Private Internet Access, have been bought out by Cape Technologies, an Israeli company linked to Mossad, whose staff is packed with former cyber intelligence officials. These are the people you're paying to protect your privacy. It's not just a sick joke, it's a punchline, and they're laughing at you. But a breakthrough has arrived, one that changes everything. VP.net was created in 2025, built from the ground up to be verifiable, transparent, and unstoppable. Legacy VPNs say trust us not to log, trust us not to monitor you. VP.net says don't trust us, verify. Unlike legacy VPNs, every connection is protected by a mathematically verifiable cryptographic shield. So no third party, not even VP.net itself, can see or log your data. So even if the government comes knocking, and trust me they do, VP.net has nothing to hand over. No logs, no user data, nothing. Even if somebody put a gun to their head, they'd walk away empty-handed. So protect yourself today. Join the movement at vp.net/TPV. And here's the best part. Using their service funds independent outlets like ours. Join the movement at vp.net/TPV.